Welcome back, I'm the Watch Nerd. On this video, we're going to review the 16710. It is a GMT Master. This is the Coke Bezel. One of my personal favorites, especially in this transitional period. Before I do hop into it though, I want to keep announcing my Chanel chain giveaway. If you want this chain, there's the 4 steps in the description below. Turning ourselves around, I'm going to go through the specifications very quickly because I have a lot of opinions on this piece. But first, let's get rid of the specs. It's hollow, semi-hollow, I call it, because it's pretty well constructed. The end links, we'll cover the bracelet really quickly. The center links are hollow, but Rolex does a really good job on their bracelet construction, so it's not really falling apart. A lot of brands, they would. The clasp, as you can tell, the Rolex is pretty clear, the coronet there, and it pops out. You can feel it. That means it hasn't been over polished, which is very good. You do have the oyster clamp for extra security, always nice to have. And the bracelet is pressed, as people call it, not as loved. They call it kind of a tin can they press it out of, but I think it adds charm, and it also calls back that this is transitional. I do have it at the last micro adjust, but you have a lot of micro adjust here. You're gonna find the actual perfect fit. And then with that, you do have screwed links. This is 904 stainless steel. We will mention the year. This is 1997 3/4. That's when this reference, I should say, the serial number dates it to. That means that it is Swiss only. That also means that it is Luminova, not Super Luminova, which is pretty cool. You do have the movement, and this one is the 3185, the later one, where you have jumping hours. The crown action is screwed down here. I will show you a twin lock, and then popping it out to the first position, you can see that's winding. Actually, winding would be the first position, I should say. And then you have jumping hours. This does not hack the actual second hand, and you can get it exact. I'm just putting it here because it's on military time. But if you wanted to, this is how you switch the date. Very, very easy, and it's great for a traveler, honestly. This watch, I mean, that's what they built it for, Rolex, and they definitely went along with it. You also have hacking, which is stop seconds, meaning you'll get the most accurate read. This is cost certified, and that is plus or minus 4 seconds. But it is Rolex actually goes on further and says plus or minus 2, because Rolex likes to show off, and their movements are yes, some people call them utilitarian because there is not crazy decorations on them, but they are the best workhorses you can ask for. They are really truly amazing, and I absolutely love them. I think a lot of people do, and I think they're the best movement. Of course, the 3185 is also in the Explorer 2, 50 hours on the Power Reserve. Let's get into dimensions. So you have a 40mm case, but definitely wears not like the super cases, and we'll get into that with the impressive 12mm thick. This is absolutely fantastic. The oyster case wears beautifully, and that 12mm is fantastic. 47.6 from lug to lug. But you will see, I will pop you slightly out, that the bracelet does go a little bit further. So you have an extra millimeter there, going to 50.6 from end link to end link. But you'll see on my wrist, it wears absolutely beautifully. I'm not a huge fan of the later ones with the super cases, like the subs. Going into the sport models, this is where it reigns supreme. The drilled lugs are just added convenience, and it's just fantastic. There are a few things that are dated. Of course, the bracelet is the most notable thing, and of course it still glows green. We're gonna get to the Lume really quickly because I actually will do that, not even at the end. Let's do it right now, and you can see. So turning off all the lights here, it is not pitch black, but you can see it's very, very good. This is Luminova. So Rolex only used Luminova a very short period of time, because later on Rolex switch to Super Luminova, it does last a bit longer, but it still works. And this is a testament, right? This is 1997. This bracelet was worn pretty much every day. I mean, you can see the scratches all over, and there's no high polish, which I absolutely love. High polish on the sides, though, I will mention, on the side of the case. Look at the way Rolex constructs their their cases, I should say, and watches. One other thing you'll notice on the is aluminium insert here. This is before ceramic, and you will notice dings around it. I think it adds a little bit of character. Sometimes you do get it scratched up too bad. Then there's the replacement bezels, and it's a nightmare. But this one is an original bezel. You can see a scratch right there around the 8 o'clock there. You can see it pretty much very well. The dial on this, so it is Swiss only, which makes it rare. They only made the Swiss only dials from the end of 1997, which is our watch, all the way through 1999. Not a very long time, so you're getting a little bit of exclusivity. Going in further, you will see that there are Romans here. Apologize for the debris, I should say, on the crystal here. The sapphire crystal, that's also a point I will talk about. But there you can see that there are Romans. There is a version of this particular watch that it's an Air, and it only says 2. This trades for a massive premium over the regular one, and you'll look up online the GMT Master 2, and it's only with this reference, the 16710, that this happens. It is extremely, I mean, I don't know how much more rare, but I know it just goes for a premium. They call it an Air, I guess collectors call it, but maybe Rolex, they just put it on for a bit. I don't mind that it's not that. It's just, I think it's cool enough that it's Swiss only on that dial. I think it's very simplistic, Swiss. I like that a lot, especially on these transitional, because that's where you see it, the Explorer 2, and many other pieces. The bezel, actually, you can see it is 120 click. It actually has clicks. It does not sound like the Submariner. Well, of course, ceramic sounds even better, but as you can see, you move it very easily, very nice, and it is bi-directional. It is not unidirectional because it's not a diver, it's a GMT. And it's very smooth. As you can see, what I'm doing lines up perfectly too. And you can really beat this up. You're not going to have a heart attack like you would with a 1675 or even further, which I have reviewed, the 6542. If you misplace that watch, the bezel might come off and you might lose 100 grand, right? Because that's basically what they are trading for. Here you can get it. I've seen them around 11, 5, 12. That's where this one's about. So you can get these for around that price. I personally think, why pay the huge premium for ceramic when they will continue to make the ceramic? Yes, they might come up with a Coke bezel, but they'll never, well, I shouldn't say never, but most likely Rolex will never release another aluminium insert, just because ceramic is 1,000 times better in the scratches, in the, it doesn't patina, it doesn't fade, and that's what it is. Oh, I didn't also mention all the hands and markers are 18 karat white gold, as they do till nowadays. The vintage ones did not have white gold, and that makes them a little more special, but this is what it is. It's a transitional, beautiful piece. Screw down case back, I will show you. Nothing on it. Very, very nice piece, and a great movement. I mean, this movement is a workhorse all the way through and through. They only just recently replaced it with the 70, and then there was one before that, but it's still, the 3. They replaced it with the 3.2, and then, of course, nowadays. But, I mean, look at it. It is absolutely gorgeous and fantastic. So I would love to know all your opinions down in the comments below. What do you think about it? Is there anything? I love these crown guards. Just really, really cool vintage piece. And I have worn it, of course. I love it to bits. If I had an extra 10 grand laying around, I would definitely, well, it's a little more than 10,000, but this is a great add to the collection. Even for the collector that has everything, it's still a cool addition. And that Swiss is pretty interesting. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I will definitely catch you in the next one. Stay tuned, because I'm going to do a really interesting collection review. Actually, pretty amazing, not even just interesting. There are a few GMTs, no modern GMTs like this. You'll see some pretty vintage ones, and I'm very excited to show you that. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a fantastic day.